everybody out there is having a good week. Of course, you've got it locked right into the Tastemakers pod with your girl Trish, light skin Corey, Brina, and your man's Quote. Thank you guys for tuning in. No doubt, definitely make sure to like and subscribe, share it out. Y'all know how we do. We talk about CHH culture and the big culture at large. And we got a few topics to hit you guys off today. We're trying, we need to light some incense in here because the mood is a little damp. We can't go into too many details, but y'all pray for your man, C. Goss. Y'all pray for your man, C. Goss, no doubt. Indeed. You know what? Let's go ahead and just crack this open. How's your week been, Brina?
It's been good. It's been a little busy, but it's been good. No complaints.
Okay. How about you, Trish?
Good. Difficult, I'll say, actually. Challenging. Definitely challenging. Yes.
Okay. Corey?
I can relate to difficult and challenging for sure. Definitely keep me in your prayers. Trish, I pray for you too as well, so that we can come back next week and have a different report.
Yeah, for sure.
Indeed.
How about you?
Well, I'm still getting over this cold. I had the COVID test. It's not COVID. I am on a flight tomorrow. My grandmother passed at the end of last week, and I am headed to Memphis, Tennessee for the funeral. So we all is, I guess, coming through right here. You know what I mean? But God is good. Saints.
Amen.
God is good. And he gives us many, many therapeutic tools.
I'm going to my therapist this week.
Including his spirit to get us through all this stuff. But yes, definitely. You need to definitely see somebody. I'm messing with you.
I'm serious. I need to see somebody.
No. I know. I agree.
Absolutely.
I definitely agree.
I ain't messing around.
You and me both. Yeah. But I started hunting for a new therapist probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's hard to find a black male therapist, but
I don't want a black one. I want an old white lady.
You know what? My first therapist
Those are the best.
was a older white guy who did a really good job. But sometimes you do want that cultural piece to be there too. So
well, I'm scared that the black therapist in Richmond might know me or might know somebody that knows me, and I don't want to tell them all my stuff, and then they see me in the streets. I'm like, oh, because I'm fake famous. Yeah. So like they might see me at a church event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I got some stuff that I want to say that I may not necessarily want church people to hear.
That's real.
I hear you.
I gotta talk through some stuff.
The one time I did go to a black female therapist.
Probably somebody you ended up knowing.
No, but she agreed with me too much. And I wasn't in a position where I needed somebody to agree with me. I needed to be challenged. And so that was a one-time situation. But yeah.
Both of my therapists were older white women. And they were amazing.
They're the best.
I mean, amazing. Great women.
Okay.
Rest in peace to my first therapist. She passed away, but my recent one, she's a nice little Jewish white lady from New York, top therapist in New York. She deals with trauma, people who've dealt with trauma. So it was just really life-changing for me.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, no, it's not like a good therapist. It's been a while. I need to get back into it as well. Just like I said, I'm trying to see what demographic I'm looking to get with. Because ain't nothing like having a bad therapist. Oh my God. Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
I can only imagine.
I've been there too. I've seen both sides of that coin. Anyway, this is taking a whole nother situation, but let's go ahead and find out maybe if our man Bizzle needs to sit on the couch and talk to somebody. No doubt. Shouts out to the God Over Money owner himself, Bizzle. He I guess it's got over social media, right? He made a post this past week saying that he was absolutely positively done. He was done, it seemed like, with social media. He made it very clear that I guess it caused him to stumble or sin. And, we could speculate or whatever. I guess my first speculation was, Bizzle probably went off somebody's neck or something like that.
Right.
So that was my first speculation. And then the deeper dwellings of the thought started thinking and hoping there wasn't any kind of other weird kind of sliding into the DMs or something that might have popped off. But I think it's probably most likely to be the first one. But permanently, like he was like, yo, like I'm gone. He released a fire track with Music Soul Child.
I saw that.
And then was like, I'm out. I'm pulling a Dave Chappelle.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, I understand, because social media can be a lot, especially when, what you do is like, has to kind of be, promoted and marketed on social media in order for you to, make your coins or whatever.
Right.
So I understand that, but at the same time, it sometimes can be very bad for your mental health. Like it just be too much. It be so much going on and so much that you see that it can affect you, mentally and emotionally and all kinds of things, right? Because he said that it was causing him to stumble and sin. So, I mean, if that's what the Lord is telling him to do, then you gotta do what you gotta do. I think as long as he has somebody like being a representative for him and his business, then I think he'll be fine. But to kind of remove yourself completely would be kind of like weird to me. In my mind, if you have a label and you own
Right.
a business, so I don't know.
But yeah. I mean, the third party could do. I don't know if Profit Biz is still working for him or not. I think he is, based on some of the comments I saw underneath the post. But I could
Oh,
see
you
the
mean
third
Profit Link? You talking about Profit Link?
Profit Link. Thank you.
Yeah, got you.
My bad.
Understood.
Profit Biz, Profit Link. My
Yep.
bad.
Yep.
But yeah, I can understand the third party thing. I think it could work pretty well for the business aspect
Yeah.
of God over money. So yeah, I could kind of see it. I still don't feel like it would be a permanent thing. That just feels too permanent. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
that's
mean,
definitely interesting.
I think too, though, like Bizzle doesn't seem like the person that makes rash decisions or makes decisions just based off of impulse. So he probably had a bunch of conversations and had some influence as far as like, hey, maybe you should do this. Do we need to do this? Is this something that, because like Trish was saying, you make a lot of money from your social media period as well too. And I think about the Nike thing when they decided to endorse Colin Kaepernick. Like, I'm sure that wasn't just let's endorse them, but they thought about who they'll lose. They thought about people they'll gain, that kind of thing. And it was probably a big decision. So I think in my summation, it was probably a big decision that went into it. It was probably some thought that went into it as well. But we know Bizzle's always been, like he says in his slogan, God over money. And, he's a super Christian rapper. So I think he really values his Christianity more than he values super Christian. I think he
Super
values
Christian rapper.
100%. He's not afraid to say Jesus.
No, not at all.
And I think
Don't
he
never
values
say it in the new Music Soul Child joint.
I think he values his Christianity more than he values social media or like sales or whatever.
For sure. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. No, that's dope. That's dope. So Bree, you think you could be off social media like that permanently?
I think if it came to a point to where it interfered with, if there was some type of interference with my spiritual life, like if it was really, if social media became a stumbling block for me spiritually, then it would have to go. Like that's kind of like a no-brainer. And I think that's what he alluded to in his post. Like if if something is, he referred to that scripture, if something's causing you to sin, then you gotta get rid of it.
Yeah.
But
if your eye is
social media,
pluck out
yeah.
travel.
Yeah. So it's like, if it got to that point, then I would have to, like,
Yeah.
it would be
Cool,
tough, but yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'd like to think that I would do it. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think, the spirit told me to, I definitely think I would. But yeah, it was just really, really interesting from an artist. But I think, there's plenty of artists that, because Beyonce theoretically doesn't post.
Yeah.
She is Beyonce.
Not
though.
typically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
But we're here for whatever she does post. She gets like millions of likes.
She does. But I'm trying to think of anybody else that really is not active on social media that's a successful.
All those superstars don't be posting.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
People to do that stuff wrong.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point.
Pastors, superstars, they all got social media people.
Yeah. I think they do. They do still interact though. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's a Instagram live or a story or something like that. Like they still are engaging in some way, shape, or form, even if they're not the ones like posting directly. You know what I'm saying? All the time. So I don't know. I don't know, because even with celebrities, the social media aspect and the like being able to engage with your audience directly is like that's a benefit for any celebrity or whoever that's like known, you know what I mean. So I don't know, I think that's a hard one. I mean, for me, like Brina said, if the Lord is like, you out here in sin, right, then that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
But, if majority of my money is coming from social media, I would have to figure out a way to, like he's doing, supplement or have somebody step in, have a third party step in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's dope. Well, we'll see how this goes, how this plays out. I'm definitely interested just to see how long it lasts. It might last forever, but we'll definitely see. That's what it is. So again, Bizzle's putting God over social media, which is on brand. Let's go on to the next topic here. Brandy, Eve. What's her name?
Naturi.
Thank you. And then I can't even think of the Puerto Rican's name right off. I had her name earlier, but I can't even think about it right now. So now we got to quickly Google because we can't just be leaving people's names out. We don't want to be them black people that only name the black people, right?
Right.
We don't want to be those people. So
no, we do not.
We do not want to be those people, indeed. Nadine Velasquez. Nadine, I think, Velasquez. So they've got a new show out on ABC called Queens, where they're pretty much this 90s hip hop group, and it's 20 years later, and they've turned into regular people doing regular things, and now it's time to get back on the stage. And I got a chance to check out the interview on the Breakfast Club, and I was like, yeah, we got to watch this, got to see it. Of course, I love the art from all of those women, and was definitely worth checking out. I'll go ahead and send it over to Bree. Bree, what did you think about Queens?
I was excited just when I saw the trailer for the show, I was excited to see it, just to see Brandy in another role again. I was excited about that. Same thing with Eve. So I thought it was good. I thought it was well written, and I thought the dynamic of the characters, really meshed well together. There was a few, like Jill Naturi's character. That one caught me off guard a little bit. Wasn't expecting to see that, but
you should be. You should be expecting.
I was expecting it.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Breakfast Club interview, so I didn't know anything about the character development.
Well,
like none of
they
it.
actually did not mention anything about it in the
They did.
Breakfast Club interview
Okay, so I
at
didn't miss
all.
anything.
But as soon
What
as
happened?
it popped off, you were like, the agenda is at work.
It is. It is.
Is she gay
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
Her character, yeah.
Her character is a Catholic who is happily married with kids, well, unhappily married with children, as Carl Thomas would say, because she's attracted to this woman. Yeah.
I have questions about that though. I was like, do Catholics have deacons? No, I don't
That's
remember
what I was
Catholics having
too.
deacons.
Because she said her father was a deacon.
Yeah.
Right? Her father was a deacon. That's what she
I was
said.
confused about
Someone
that.
didn't do their research. Someone didn't do
Yeah,
their
they
research.
they got mixed. It was like, well, we got yeah, that's what happens when you so I'm trying to find out who wrote her as a Catholic. Like, I mean, how many Black Catholics are there? I mean, I'm
not many.
I know there are, but
yeah, it's not.
Why write it
not
in
many.
as a
Not
Catholic?
common. It's not as
like, why not just write her in as a, you know? And that sounds like that's problematic in my opinion. That was a bad choice.
Agreed.
But you know, maybe just because just don't have a whole lot of. Anyway, I'm probably truly underestimating the amount of Black Catholics there are in America, but I don't know any.
I don't know
any either.
Me either. I can't think of one.
So yeah, so her character was interesting. Bree, what else were you saying her?
I mean, the music was good. And I mean, we just got through the first episode. Like you said, we saw the agenda at work in that first episode.
at work,
but I mean, it brought a lot of other topics to light too, especially with one of the artists dealing with drug addiction, kind of like bringing that topic out. So I think covering those issues in this format will probably be good. It just seemed like there's going to be a lot of drama.
Why did they make that character out to be an exact replica of Nicki Minaj? Why did they
I know. I was like,
that was it. Yeah,
like Nicki. What is happening?
Like, how is Nicki gonna feel about this? Yeah. It's like, how is Nicki gonna feel about this when she sees this character that looks exactly like her?
Is it based off anything? I haven't seen it yet, but is it based off anything like that's real, or is it just a?
It shouldn't. Okay. It's not. From what it should be pretty much all fiction.
It didn't seem like it was.
Yeah, it's pretty much all fiction, but because you're dealing with, 3 of the 4 actresses being musicians, they actually have dealt with some of the things, you know what I mean, that even going to go on in the thing because they've all been there as artists. What did you think about it, Trish? I
loved it. I think it's super relatable for me because like I was just looking at Eve's character and her having 5 kids, you got a husband, and I think the part that's relatable for me, not all of it, but where she definitely not all of it. But the part where she's like, I'm like darn near 40 and I got kids and I don't rap. Like I don't rap anymore. I'm a mom, and she's like, what do I look like coming out here rapping, and I could relate to that a lot, just being, a creative in general. And, like I write, I rap on the side, but I'm like, I would never go out and be in public, in my mind, in my head, I say I would never do that, but who knows? But just watching them do that, it was just like, man, like I could feel that, like that tug, but yeah, and even with Brandy's situation too, it was just real. It just made it real. It made it, because that was my life. I didn't grow up with my mom, so it was just like, man, I could really relate to a lot of the characters, yeah, it was My favorite part though was that cipher. They was killing in that cipher. I was actually
Cypher was
very
beastly.
surprised. I was like, oh,
Cypher
y'all
was
rapping.
crazy.
Y'all rapping,
Like
rapping. Okay.
and I remember when Brandy first decided to bless the mic as an
Mm-hmm.
MC many years ago. It was on
Mm-hmm.
a Timberland beat, and I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. And she was
Same.
going by another
Yeah.
name when she was
Mm-hmm.
spitting,
I
but
remember that.
obviously a lot of people didn't like it. From what I guess Brandy seems to think that a lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah.
But no, Brandy can spit.
She can spit. She can
She
spit.
Yep.
can
She
spit
can.
her
She
tail
can.
off. And
I feel
that's
like she's
crazy.
gotten better, way better. Like in
Mm.
this, I mean, I'm sure people are writing for her.
No, yeah, people are writing for
I'm
them. They
sure.
admitted it. They said that this is all being written for them.
But the delivery though,
Oh my god,
it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
And
always
Eve,
good.
I love Eve.
Eve, just to hear
I
Evie
love
on the mic.
Eve.
Oh my
She from
god.
Philly. She repping Philly. I'm like, yes, come on, Eve. I love her. Always loved Eve. So that just had me like feeling warm and fuzzy inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just
Agreed.
the talent. You almost forget that Brandy had Moesha, right?
Yeah.
You almost forget that Eve had the show that she was on.
Mm-hmm.
What was the show called?
Yep.
Called Eve. Wasn't it called Eve?
It was called Eve.
Eve.
Okay.
Yeah.
You almost forget that, and of course, Notorious, of course, you know,
Notorious.
from Notorious, yeah, or of course Power, yeah,
Power too, yep.
Act her tail off as well,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so just being artists and actresses, musicians and actresses, is really dope to see them on screen. The talent. I'm very interested in what the soundtrack is going to look like. Because it could be beastly. That cipher is actually on iTunes.
Is it now?
Yes, it is. That cipher is on iTunes. Yes,
that joint was crazy. I was like,
definitely on iTunes. Yeah, and they killed that joint. They definitely killed that joint. So it's definitely going to be something I add to the catalog, the weekly catalog of shows, to see exactly how it goes. Definitely. Just really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Really good writing outside of the whole Catholic part.
Yeah.
And and so I said, outside of that, I really, it's just to see the talent. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you want to make sure that people get their due. As much as people call, Brandy the vocal Bible, you still feel like Brandy doesn't get her due. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. And Brandy and all the ladies on Breakfast Club were bigging up Eve, they were calling her a legend in the game. And I don't think I've ever referred to Eve as a legend in the game. You know what I mean? In my head.
Yeah.
But when I go back, something happened probably about a month or two ago when I was just going through some old music and I put in Eve's I know what it was. DMX died. So DMX died, and I was listening to the old the Rough Riders joints and different things, and just hearing Eve just kill stuff, and then Eve and Drag On, and then hearing Eve and with the whole Love Is Blind joint. That joint, she spit the mess. I mean, that joint is so beautifully written. It is so crazy. Oh my God, she wrote the mess out of that track.
She did.
You know what I mean?
She did.
And delivered it flawlessly.
Seamlessly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
when she
back in the day.
Huh?
Yeah, when she did that verses. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, you're good.
When she did that verses, it just reminded me of like,
with Trina.
Yo, you got a catalog. Yeah, she got a catalog. Like
she does. Yeah.
Definitely. And I think people sleep on her for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So
mm-hmm.
Definitely Queens is something I'm gonna continue to watch. They kept it pretty mild. They didn't get too buck. The language got buck, but I definitely expected to see somebody getting their back blown out, and that I didn't see that. just to be completely honest, you know how network cable is nowadays, and we didn't see that. I was like, yay, I might be able to actually watch this with life. You know what I mean, or something. Yeah, like,
so
yeah. So, I mean, really.
I mean, that's real because I feel like every show on television, somebody getting their joint backed out,
Yeah,
blown out.
for sure. That's what we see on network TV
So
nowadays.
much.
So the
It's
fact that
so
we did
much.
not see that in the pilot episode, which is
Yeah,
normally when they make sure it's in a pilot,
oh, for sure.
and the fact that
Because
we didn't
it's
see it in
like
the
the
pilot,
setup. Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
good.
go ahead, ladies, do your thing. You know what
It
I
was
mean?
real
So,
subtle. They had a real subtle scene, and it wasn't
yeah,
really
a
nothing
real
for
subtle
real.
love scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
left a lot to
Even
the
with
imagination.
the part with Naturi and her John, I was like
Yes,
scared. I got a little scared. I was
it was
getting a little
right.
nervous, and
They
then I
kept
was like,
that
oh,
pretty mild.
okay,
Yeah, they kept
all
that pretty
right.
mild. I think I've seen that actress play gay in another show or so as well. The actress that
Okay.
she is with in that, but yeah,
Mm.
they kept it mild. They kept the sex and the romance. They kept that mild, which was kind of cool. Just because it's a contrast from what you see nowadays. Nowadays, they just be ready to give it to you. So, I mean, it's true. Goodness gracious! I think I was watching one of the Power joints.
I don't even watch
I
Power. I
think
can't even do it.
the Kanan joint, and I swear they had like 3 soft core joints. Like for real, I'm like, dang. In 45 minutes, like for real,
Wow,
did a
all within
story
one
get told?
show.
I'm
In
like,
one show.
in one show. I'm like, did a story get
Jeez.
told? Was there a story here? Why do I watch? But no, actually, Power. I love Power stuff. So anyway, the Power universe, as they now call it. But yeah, no.
Not
Queens is
Marvel.
definitely getting added to the list for sure. So that's what it is. Keeping the party going. I feel like we are way too lighthearted with me being sick, and then with Corey being in his funk. I feel like and every 5 seconds I'm doing in the microphone. This is this is
I
just a mess.
can't.
But you all right, Corey?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there.
Corey is not even laughing or being himself. I
No,
cannot.
you stretch your
It's
hands
giving
out.
very mellow. It's
Pray
very
for
mellow.
Corey. Pray for Corey.
Oh,
Indeed.
stretch your hands.
Indeed. A broken spirit and a contrite heart. He will not depart. He will not despise.
There you go. There he is.
Let's move along. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move along.
The Lord is with you, brother.
You clouded.
I'm sorry.
Clouded.
I'm sorry, my guy. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Corey.
the last topic of the night here is going to be we're like a band of misfit toys right now. I'm sitting here coughing and sniffling, barely can talk. Listen. Anyway, the last topic here is going to be your man Aaron Cole. And the way it is, guys, is if we're gonna do these album reviews, we gotta really do these album reviews. All right.
Facts.
All right, we gotta really talk about the album, what we liked, what we didn't like, whatever the case may be. It's officially Aaron's second album, his sophomore album on Goatee Records for the 23-year-old newly married but Dove New Artist of the Year. Shouts out to Aaron Cole's doing big things. He's killing the game right now. He's definitely killing the game right now. So definitely sending your prayers out for your man Aaron, just because I'm just loving everything he's doing. And whenever you're loving anything that everybody's doing, you're always worried that something bad's gonna happen or something. So yeah, shouts out to Aaron. I hope your trajectory continues to go. There we go. That way.
Yeah.
Definitely. Young Love is beautiful as well. And it's a beautiful project. Let's talk about this project here. Corey, what did you think about VA Zone 2 Up, 2 Down?
So I already love the title because, hold it down for the 757. Well, actually the whole VA. But I feel like that's more so 757 because you got to be from 757 to do this.
That's
Anyway.
right, because that's more of a skateboard piece situation.
Yeah.
I feel like we started that in the 757 too. We started saying 2 up, 2 down in the 7 cities too.
We did. I mean, it's the best part of Virginia. Everybody knows that.
Okay, as long as everybody knows that Hampton Roads is the best part of Virginia.
Yeah. It's definitely a fact.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But I like the joint. Well, so when he dropped the credits first, I seen that Paris Careers World 45 was the like creative direction for the whole album.
Yeah.
So I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
That he
said he
got
actually
Paris to
flew
look.
to Tulsa. He was in Tulsa just with Paris, just doing it.
Yeah. Word. So definitely got Paris a bag and Paris a look. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they'll work some more with some CCM artists. I think that's always dope. And it's crazy because the dude who taught Paris how to rap, I'm like real good friends with him. A guy named Chaz Hoffler. So it's funny how stuff comes full circle because then me and Aaron are super tight. And then, all that kind of stuff. So it's just seeing the homies win. You know what I'm saying? One way or another. Yeah, for sure. I like the singles. The first single, I think you were on a song. Well, actually, you weren't. I'm lying. You said that you hope that all the singles weren't the best songs in the album. I don't think they were personally. I actually didn't think that the one with J Moss was that good. You know what I'm saying? It was cool, but I didn't think it was a single. But I get it, the star power for J Moss, and then you had Aaron doing more singing on this album as well too. It felt real Drake-ish. It felt real Drake-ish throughout the whole album.
There was definitely some serious.
So I'm not sure if that was Aaron trying to go in that direction or Paris in that direction, but it definitely felt super Drakey. You know what I mean? So thought that was real good though, because everybody loves Drake. Drake's the cheat code. So I'm not mad at that at all. Can't Choose a Side was fire. I really like that. That one was probably my.
What is that song about?
What do you think it's about?
I know I couldn't figure it out. I don't
know. I gotta ask Aaron for sure. So I'm not even gonna say what it's about. I don't know.
No, because there was a song. Because going back to my theory, I was like, look, I hope that the singles that have been released aren't the whatever, and the 2 tracks that just had great sound.
Can't Choose a Side was one.
Can't Choose a Side, and also Chances, in my opinion. Anyway, so Can't Choose a Side and Chances. I could understand what Chances was about. I couldn't make out what Can't Choose a Side is about.
So that's why I thought that was fire regardless.
So it just shows me that I wasn't the only one that couldn't figure that out, which is great. That means I'm not getting too old.
No, not at all. So yeah, I thought it was a good follow-up, a good sophomore joint. I liked it a lot. I could be biased because that's my man. So that's the little homie. And I'm opening up his tour when he comes to VA. So I could be biased, but I don't think I am. I think it's a really good project. And it got 3 million streams in 24 hours.
3.6 million streams in 24 hours.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's like, what? Wild.
Yeah.
It is.
So that's my assumption. That's my review.
That's your review of it. Bree, what did you think about it?
I thought that it sounded like a praise and worship album with some rap songs sprinkled throughout. That was just the vibe that I got. I mean, it was really mellow, and he, I agree, he did do a lot more singing on this. Wasn't mad at that at all, but I enjoyed it. Completely different vibe from the first album, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Any particular tracks that stood out to you?
I actually like the song he did with J Moss. It wasn't a classic J Moss, style pajam track, but I liked it.
I feel like it left room on the table. It left too much on the table. In the perfect world, the song was great to me. It was a good song, but the tie-in at the end needed to be tied in just a little bit more. When he went from the Need me, do 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 when you need me. So by the end of the song, it was on some. They tried to put in there, Lord, I need thee. Every hour I need thee.
Yeah.
They needed to tie it up just a little bit more, and I think it would have been so dope that they went from that to that it would have made the song complete. But they really didn't. They flirted with it, but they didn't tie it up. He said, "I need thee," and then he mumbled, which kind of frustrated me. But anyway, use your words.
Use your words.
Yeah. So, Trish, I know you only got a chance to really skim it a little bit, but any thoughts?
Yeah, I skimmed it, but one of the songs that stood out for me was "Weapon." Shout out to Kenyon Dixon, who is a monster.
Okay.
I was like, oh, he's on this album? Okay, all right. Yeah, if y'all know who Kenyon Dixon is, he's Kenny Got Soul on Instagram. Amazing singer. Like, get into him. R&B, soul, beast. But yeah, Weapon, it was like the first line. It was a little controversial. I thought that was interesting. It stood out. Just thought it stood out to me. You don't know what I'm talking about, go and listen to the song. I don't know if we want to get into that right now, but
Quote, we can't hear you.
we can't hear you, Quote.
We can't.
Nabbit.
I don't know.
I had the sniffles and I put myself on mute so that I wouldn't sniff into the mic like I've done already 1,000 times in the show.
Hilarious.
And I forgot to take myself off mute. But of course we want that. Yes. Aaron put it out there. We could talk about it.
He did put it out there. He said something like, what did he say?
He said something about 15, I was
assigned to
the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They still owe me money from that joint.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. I said, wait a minute now. That's interesting. I just thought it was interesting that he would say that on an album. And so I don't know. I think it's something that I hope that it's something that he has
worked out with Truth.
Yes, I'm hoping that is the case. I mean, I know Manny personally, so I don't want to, I don't know. I don't want to speculate or anything, but I'm hoping that they've worked that out. But
I don't think they have.
Okay.
The more I think about it.
I was just trying to, think
the more I think about it. I'm thinking about the shows that we've had with Aaron. I'm thinking about the shows that we've had with The Truth. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about the different times that I don't never get a chance to see them together
interact
in my head. And not only that, but Aaron is always talking about some artists that he doesn't like that everybody loves. It's not the first time he's mentioned something like that. I always assumed it was Cray. But maybe this could be a double down on the Truth joint.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
I don't think it's Manny.
You don't think it's Manny?
Nah, I don't think it's Manny.
Okay. So you think it is Cray?
I might be. I think it used to be, but now I think he's cool with it.
I know at one point, our guy had so at one point there was, well, anyway, I'm trying to use what we know from what he put out to the world, not things that we know behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm thinking that might have been a Truth thing, whatever. But yeah, you were saying anyway before I interrupted.
Yeah, no, I like Chances. That joint's dope. But I was gonna say I agree with Brina. I felt like it was super mellow, and I felt like it was kind of like, and again, I gotta listen again, but it kind of gave me a contemporary gospel praise and work. Like it kind of gave me that, which I was not expecting at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that. When you said, when Corey said it was a little Drakey, I don't know if I got Drake from it, but I got it again.
The track 84 is all the way Drake.
Okay.
It's either 84 or Bristol Lights, one of them tracks is all the way Drake. Um, but outside of that, I would only say it was Drakey in the sense that he kind of raps and sings a little bit,
Right,
which, you
right.
know, a lot of people more than just Drake do that. But I will say there was a track at the end where it was a total Drake "Thank Me Later" type from 10 years ago
Mm-hmm.
rip off. Yeah, it was. I mean, I say rip off, you know, but not in a bad way. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Well, that
You know what I
84
mean?
game does sound very much Drake.
Yeah.
I was just listening to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very, very Drake type joint. Um, I enjoyed the album. It was more mellow. I think this was the great blend of his many worlds that he is operating in,
Mm.
being that he's signed to Goatee Records, with theoretically people would consider more of a CCM type label, even though they started off way more urban. Um, and then him still being a member of CHH, undoubtedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great blend of that. So I hear how you guys are saying it kind of has that CCM worship thing. I didn't really feel that as much, but I can see what y'all are saying because of this is Aaron Cole. This is the blend. This is who he is. And this is why he has 3.6 million streams, because he can touch so many of those different avenues, which again, just shouts out to him on that.
Yeah.
The tracks, I do feel that most of the tracks that I absolutely loved were tracks that were already released as singles,
Mm.
which is dope. I mean, and to be expected. Like, I mean, the Like You joint with him, Torn, and Toby, that's a hit, right? Like You is a hit. Only You with him and his label mate, what is her name? Taryn? What's her name?
Yeah, I think it's Tyrion.
Tyrion. That joint is a bop. You know what I mean? It's definitely a great track as well. Those are my two favorite on there, with though Chances in there, as well as are probably, you know, I love that as well. Chances was a dope track. Can't Choose a Side is a dope sounding track. It sounds great, but it just normally I'm able to know what things mean, and the fact that I couldn't figure out what it was really meaning kind of bothered me. But Can't Choose a Sound does sound awesome, and everybody really loves that track. I'm just old school, and I need to know what I'm listening to. Whether it's ratchet or whether it's gospel, I need to know what I'm listening to.
Right.
And I couldn't make out what he was talking about on Can't Choose a Side. It didn't stick out to me. I can't say that I sat and I listened for it word for word, but I at least played it back a couple times. I was like, what are we talking about here? And so definitely a great project here. I think a very slept on joint, and I feel like it's slept on because being that I'm no longer single, that I've, you know, been married for almost a decade. I used to love tracks like Slow Down when I was single. I used to love tracks like that. And I realized that I really didn't pay it much mind this time around. And but going back and listening to it again, I was like, yo, this is a good song. This is a song I would really, really like if I was a single person. Just on some, you know, obviously the title, Slow Down, you know, the verbiage, the wording, you know, before we crash, yada, 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 you know, you giving me the green light, yada, 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 boom, boom, boom. I would have loved a song like that. Songs like that I really liked back when I was single. Just a constant reminder of the struggle to put up appropriate boundaries and slow down. I think that's a word for somebody on the show. But yeah, so with that being said, really, y'all are all gonna just let me get away with that, and then Corey, you don't say anything
I'm
either?
laughing. I don't know if he.
This is not This is not this is not light skin Corey. This is Corey Goss.
Right.
This is not light
You should
skin.
have changed your name today.
Yeah, you should. You're fooling the people right now.
Yeah.
You've got to change your header.
I'll be back next week.
Light skin Corey will be back.
Light skin Corey will be back next week. Oh man, but yeah, so enjoyed the album. Definitely enjoyed the album. Shouts out to the young phenom that is Aaron Cole.
Yeah.
That's really all I've got to say about it. Really, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the Tastemakers podcast here. Pray for us because we obviously are struggling. I've had a cold for a week. What in the world? It's been a week and a half.
It's
I've
gonna
had
go
this
away
daggone
soon.
cold.
You just keep taking your vitamin D and C.
And I am. And then I got to get on this plane and see the family and hope the family do all right and act right as we, say goodbye to our grandma. And again, as Trisha's living her busy life and all that she's got going on, and of course Corey and all that he has going on, and the only one of us that is making it out unscathed right now is Brina. What's your secret, Brina?
And just staying in the house and minding my business and
drinking your water. Drinking
my water.
Bible.
Yep.
Read your Bible. That's right.
Seems to be
if
working.
The rest of y'all was in y'all's word, then maybe.
Okay.
Message. I'm messing up. But that is what it is. We thank you guys so much for tuning into the Tastemakers Pod. Don't forget to like and subscribe, to share. Again, that is Trisha Bell. That is Corey Goss. That's definitely not light skin Corey today. That's a brief.
Maybe next week.
Well, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Tastemakers Pod.
Bye, y'all.